turn your cameras off if you'd prefer not to be part of the recording. It's up to you. It's your choice. We will share this with other Eagle staff students. Today, we are baking brownies. I did a sample batch last night because I wanted to make sure that, I wanted to test basically the ingredients that you all have in your baking kits. And I'll show you. Last night I was feeling kind of creative, so I made peanut butter chocolate brownies. So this is our brownie recipe. And I put peanut butter on the top and I put peanut butter cup chunks inside. That's one of the things that I love about this recipe is it's super flexible. Today, I'm pretty sure that in my sample, like as I bake, I've given you all chocolate chips, unless one of you got the secret M&M bag. There were a couple of those. I'm going to be using raspberries and raspberry jam in mine just to show you how you can also alter the same recipe. Okay, so first thing, if you're baking along with us, go ahead and make sure that your oven is preheated to 350 degrees. So head on over to your oven. And go ahead and get that oven preheated to 350 degrees. You're also welcome to just watch along if you want to just watch. You don't have to bake along. Yeah, Owen, go ahead.
I can't use the oven because my dad isn't here.
That's no problem. You know what you can do, Owen? If you want to, you could mix it all up and get it all ready. And then when it's time, when your dad gets home and you have the okay to use the oven, you could just pop it in the oven at that point. Okay? All right. So if you're preheating your oven, mine's already over there humming, getting ready to roll. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to melt the butter. So I have a microwave safe bowl. I have my stick of butter, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in my microwave safe bowl, just like that. And I'm going to use a microwave. If you don't have a microwave, that's totally fine. You can also use like a pot on the stove. But the quickest way to get that butter melted, so go ahead and put it in a bowl and pop it in the microwave. I do mine for about 30 seconds at a time. So the first time I'm going to put it in is for 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll wait for the butter to melt. You can also get your sugar out. If you have one of the kits, the sugar it's in the large bag. Yeah, Ella's got her bag there. It's the larger of the two bags with the white in it. The smaller, the shorter one is flour. So the sugar looks more like sand. You're going to put that 1 cup of sugar, the larger bag, the 1 cup of sugar, go ahead and put it in your bowl. And then you can also check on your butter and see if it's melted. If it's not melted, go ahead and put it in for 15 more seconds. Okay, I've got my 1 cup of sugar in my bowl and I'm working on melting my butter. So I'll show you here in mine, if you can see it. It hasn't melted all the way. There's still a little bit of a lump in there. I'm just going to take my spoon and I'm just going to stir this already hot butter until everything melts. I don't need to put it in the microwave for longer because this butter's hot enough. This bowl is hot enough. I'm going to go ahead and stir it until my butter's a liquid. Okay. And then the next thing you're going to want to find, if you have a wire whisk. If you have a wire whisk at home, you're going to want to use a wire whisk. If you don't have a wire whisk, you can also use a fork. So grab a wire whisk or a fork. And you're going to take your big bowl of sugar. You're going to pour your melted butter into your big bowl of sugar, just like that. Get it all in there. And then for 30 seconds, you're going to whisk the butter and sugar together. I'm going to whisk this up. The other thing is you can also, I mentioned you can use a fork. If you don't have a wire whisk, a fork, because it has those tines, can also do the exact same thing in your bowls. So you're going to whisk for about 30 seconds until it gets really smooth. You're looking for a really smooth consistency.
Can I have another minute or two on this? I don't have a microwave, so I have to do it with the stove.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll just start mixing, Mason, and you let us know when you're ready to move ahead. Just keep mixing it. It's really good for your muscles. And you'll notice it starts to get super smooth as you're mixing it. Go. Hi, Louise. Hi, Natalie. Glad you're here. Are you guys going to bake along with us? Or are you going to just watch?
We're going to bake along.
Okay, so we are right at the beginning. So go ahead and make sure you have a bowl. And you're going to melt your butter. Melt your butter in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And then you're going to mix it with your sugar, your 1 cup of sugar. Okay, and don't worry about rushing. Mason is melting his butter on the stove, so we have time. So go ahead and just be safe in the kitchen. Okay.
How big of a bowl? Like,
What's that?
Like how big of a bowl?
My bowl is
Big.
a pretty big. It's a pretty big. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, a
Okay.
pretty big bowl.
Thank you.
Like a, I don't know how to say how big it is. Here's a little bowl. Here's a big bowl. All right. Okay, so I've mixed that. You can see it's getting kind of like it's smooth. That warm butter from melting the butter is mixing in with the sugar. And we'll go ahead and pause there. I was telling this group I did a practice round last night, and I was super excited because I wanted to make sure it worked okay. Always good to do a practice round, but these are the brownies I made last night. These are my chocolate peanut butter brownies, and they have peanut butter on top. So one of the things that is really cool about this recipe is you can make brownies and almost add anything you like to it. So you could add M&Ms, you could add crushed up peppermints, you could add butterscotch or peanut butter or raspberries or caramel. You can choose what you want to flavor your brownies as. And last night I tried peanut butter. Today, my sample is going to be raspberry chocolate. So we'll talk about how you can modify your flavors as we go. Okay, I see Mason's mixing. Excellent. Also, Natalie and Louise, you guys want to make sure you turn your oven on to 350 degrees. Okay. All right.
Should the butter be melted?
Yeah, you want your butter melted, and then you're going to mix it with your sugar.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. The next thing, go ahead and keep mixing. I'm just going to slowly move ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So we have 2 bags of chocolate chips.
Yes. So 1 bag is to be melted and 1 bag is to put in chunks. So we're not doing chocolate chips yet, but when we get to the chocolate chips, I'll tell you. In fact, actually, no, let's just go ahead and do this now. If you have chocolate chips, the smaller bag is the one that we want to melt. So you can use, again, use a heat-safe bowl. If you're going to put in the microwave, put your smaller bag in here, and you're going to put the smaller bag in the microwave for 15 minutes, then stir, and then 15 minutes, and then stir. Or sorry, not minutes. 15 seconds. 15 seconds in your microwave and stir it, and then put it back in until you start to see that they're melting. Okay. So go ahead and take your time to melt that. I'm going to get mine ready here. And the smaller bag is about a 1/2 cup. It's about a 1/2 cup. And Mason, you don't have a microwave. Quick question, Mason. Have you ever used the stove to melt chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing peppermint chips instead of chocolate chips. Is that okay?
That's fine. I love that you're already making your own flavor. That's great. Awesome. All right. Hi, Elsa. Glad you're here. We got a good crowd today. Okay, don't worry if you're just joining us. Go ahead and I'm going to go over what I've done so far. And in fact, you know what I'm going to do? Really quickly, I'm going to also put the instructions in the chat so that if you feel like you need to go back and look and see what you need to do, I'm going to put all these instructions. These are super simple brownies. It's only seven instructions for the whole thing. I will go ahead and put this in. If you have your hand up, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and just turn your mic on and ask questions. Totally cool with that.
I can hear you. What do we melt the chocolate chips in?
You're going to find a heat-safe bowl. So you want to use plastic or glass or ceramic. You don't want to put metal in the microwave, right? So you're going to put your chips in there, and I'm going to pop these in for about 15 seconds. Elsa, if you're joining us, don't worry, no problem. I just put the instructions in. We have melted our butter and mixed in our sugar, and now we're just going to get our melted chocolate chips ready, okay? So I'm going to drop this in the microwave for 15 seconds. And it takes a couple of times. Some microwaves go fast. You can see my butter is, you might want to stir that up again. So we're going to add that in just a minute. Very good, Ella. That looks great. I need to stick mine in for a little longer. Okay. So once your chocolate is melted, you can go ahead and set it aside. It's not going to get hard right away, and that's fine. You're going to want to get your eggs ready. There should be two eggs is what we're looking for. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm always worried about getting eggshells in the food that I make. So I often will crack my eggs into a different container first so that I can look. I'm going to use my little measuring cup here so that I can make sure I don't have any eggshells. So I'm going to crack 1 egg and just get these eggs ready. Awesome. I'm going to check on my chocolate. Needs a little more time. How's the chocolate melting going? I saw Ella's chocolate. Owen's is good. Excellent. Excellent. Charlotte's got hers. Okay. You've got your eggs ready. You also want to get your vanilla. There should be a small container of 2 teaspoons.
Wait. Should we whisk the eggs first, or are we just putting them in?
You can put them in with your sugar and butter. Okay. So go ahead and you can add your eggs straight in, just like that. And you can start whisking those in to your butter and sugar. Perfect. Oh, that looks so good. And then I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of vanilla also, and I'm going to whisk those in. So far, you have butter, sugar, eggs, and vanilla. And we're whisking that in with a fork or with a wire whisk. My chocolate chips are being stubborn. All right, there we go. Nice and smooth.
So in this, we should just have sugar, butter, eggs, and vanilla.
Yes, exactly. Sugar, butter, eggs, and vanilla so far. Got my chocolate ready. All right. You're going to whisk for 1 minute. You want to whisk your butter, your sugar, your eggs, and vanilla for 1 minute. I love it. Elsa, I am so glad that's helpful. It's the first time I've tried it, and I'm glad it worked. Also was commenting that having everything in the brownie packets was really helpful. I'm glad. I had fun making them.
It smells so good.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Are we
Right?
supposed to add in the chocolate chips now?
So yes, once you've whisked your butter, sugar, eggs, and vanilla, you're going to add your melted chocolate into that mixture. Scrape as much out of it as you can. Sometimes it can be hard to get the last little bits in. Okay. And then you're gonna whisk that with the chocolate in it. Oh man, it's looking good. Chocolate now, eggs, butter, sugar, and vanilla. Okay, you want it to be nice and smooth. So just whisk it until it gets nice and smooth. Yummy. Okay. Alrighty. Nice and smooth. I'm going to pause and I just want to check in with everybody. Give me a thumbs up when either on the screen or in the chat when you're ready to move past the chocolate. See lots of mixing. Okay, Elsa's ready. Just let me know when you're ready to do the next step, past the chocolate. Nice, Mason, that looks delicious. Thank you. Ella's got her chocolate mixed in. I see Owen's working on the chocolate. Mariam's ready. Awesome. Oh, it's so, look how silky smooth it looks. It looks so good. Ella is licking her fingers, so I'm guessing you're tasting a little while you're working. Awesome.
I'm tasting chocolate I got on my hands.
Well, I mean, it's hard to get the chocolate out of that bowl, so it's okay, right? Natalie and Louise, how are you guys doing? You're mixing the chocolate in right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Ainsley's ready to move forward. Thank you. Okay, all right. So the next thing, you're going to switch tools. You're going to find either a wooden spoon or a spatula, a rubber spatula, and you're going to move to that. One of the reasons, two choices, wooden spoon or a rubber spatula. One of the reasons is that when we start to mix in our dry ingredients, we don't want to mix it quite as much. So we move to a different tool so that we don't break it down more than it should. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our flour, our cocoa powder, and our salt. So your bag, the smaller bag, is 3/4 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of cocoa, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Did I put this in the same bowl with the chocolate and butter mixture or in a different bowl?
You're gonna put it right in the bowl.
All right.
Yep, good question, because you're right. Sometimes when we bake, we put our dry ingredients in a separate bowl.
Can we stir it in?
And then you're gonna just hold on just a sec, Mason. I want to talk about folding the ingredients in. So folding is a term that we use when we bake because we don't want to mix it too much. So I want to make sure I have my cocoa powder. I want to make sure I have my flour and my salt.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we pour all of the flour in?
Yes, the whole bag of flour.
Okay, because I saw you like measuring it out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, should we also do all of the cocoa powder and salt?
Yes. Yep, you can put all of the cocoa powder and salt. I'm measuring here at home because I didn't have a packet left over. So I'm having to redo all of mine, or at least my measurements. Okay, so I've got my bowl here and I'm gonna you're gonna start to fold. And folding means you scrape the outside of the bowl and you literally are folding your dry ingredients like over your wet ingredients. And you can mix it a little. Sometimes when you add dry ingredients like this, it wants to like poof out of the bowl. So you're gonna do it just until it gets damp, just until the ingredients are mixed. We don't want to over mix our brownies. Okay. Go. And so it's gonna look super fudgy. And just double check to make sure you don't have any really big lumps. Go ahead and keep scraping your bowl until it looks like all of those dry ingredients are mixed. Sometimes you can have small lumps of cocoa, so you want to try and get those out of there. Okay, that's what I've got. I'll pause for just a minute. Wait and see when you're ready. I got a thumbs up from Ella. Okay. So here's my mix, nice and fudgy. Everything's mixed up. Okay.
So
So now,
question.
yeah.
Ours looks really dry, and then yours looks really moist. How do you think we could change that?
Natalie,
like add milk?
it's good.
Can you show it to me?
I'm still stirring it.
Okay, you can start. Here's one thing you could do is 1 tablespoon at a time. You could add a little more melted butter. If you have some butter, just do 1 tablespoon at a time, and you could add it and see until it gets to where you feel like it's right.
Did you say that it had to be like damp, not completely wet?
Yeah, it's not super runny. Here,
Yeah.
I'll show you on mine. It's a little hard to do it online, but it's chunky.
Yeah.
It's like not.
This is actually like that.
Okay.
I think now it's not.
Yeah, it does take a minute to get it into the right consistency. Okay, so here's my favorite part. I told you earlier that yesterday when I did my practice round, I made these peanut butter brownies. They're so good. And I put chunks of peanut butter cups in them because I love peanut butter and chocolate. Well, I want to talk to you about some of the other options. So Mason is putting peppermint in his. Excellent, Charlotte, that looks great. Mason's putting peppermint in his. I did peanut butter yesterday. Today, I'm going to try fresh raspberries, and I'm going to put some raspberry jam on top. In your packet, you have either a cup of chocolate chips or a cup of M&Ms. And then now it's the time to put your inside, or you could put sprinkles. Try it, Ella. The other thing I was thinking of, you could do caramels. Like I have caramels. I could chop up little chunks of caramels and put them in there. You could do like butterscotch. You could do marshmallows and graham crackers. And you could make like a s'mores one. That would be cool. So you're looking for about a cup, 1 cup of whatever your flavor is. Quinn, did you have a question? Or sorry, Owen.
When are we going to add the vanilla extract?
Oh, you can add that now. Go ahead and add that and mix that in.
Wine coop. Do we add like sprinkles or butterscotch or peppermint or whatever we want in addition to the chocolate chips?
Yeah, you could do that. So you're going to add, like right now, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to add some extra chocolate. It's about half and a little more. And then I'm going to add my raspberries into this. Natalie and Louise, I saw you're using marshmallows. Are they they're big marshmallows? Yeah, so you might want to cut them in quarters. So cut them in half and then half again before you put them in your mix.
That's what I was thinking to do.
Yeah, if you had mini marshmallows, you wouldn't have to cut them, but if you have big ones, just cut them.
Should we pour the bag of chocolate chips in now?
Yeah, you can pour the bag of chocolate chips in, and I'm going to just gently, this is really important. You just want to gently fold those ingredients, those extra flavors in, because you don't want to break them up too much, especially like my raspberries. Mushy raspberries, not exactly the best flavor. A few extra chocolate chips here I can put in. Okay. I love that we're going to have a few extra flavors. Okay, so now mine is ready. Okay, but I'm going to set that aside because the next thing we want to do is get our pan ready. So I'm going to grab my pan. Here's my pan. Now in your box, I put a piece of parchment paper. Parchment paper is super helpful because it makes it, one, it makes your pan really easy to clean, which is great. And 2, it makes it easy to pull them out and then cut them. So I'll show you, for example, a picture of how easy it was for me to pull my brownies out last night. So here's my pan of brownies, and I just pulled them right out of the pan. And that's what the parchment paper does. So here's the trick that I recently learned about parchment paper. You have your pan. You might have a square brownie pan. You might be using a round one. Flip your pan upside down like this. Take your parchment paper over the top and you're going to fold your corners. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just kind of helping make the shape of the pan before you flip it over. So you turn your pan upside down, fold the corners. You can see how I folded those corners like that. Okay. And then watch when I flip this over and I push this in, it's a lot easier to push my parchment paper down. Okay. And then you can start to slowly fold your corners over. Parchment down in the pan. Okay. So I'll go ahead and pause and I'll wait for just a second. I'm going to use my peanut butter brownie to hold my parchment down.
lot of excess parchment paper. What do I do?
Yeah, can you see how mine, like I have this much extra? You can just leave that there. You can just leave the excess
Well,
parchment.
I don't know how to press it down into my pan.
Oh yeah. So Ella, go ahead and take your hand and just do one corner at a time and push it down. Like, see how my finger is here in this corner, and then I'm going to kind of wrap my hand around the corner just gently. And then I'm going to move to the next corner just one at a time until you get, it's going to be a little loose. It's not going to sit right in the bottom. Mine kind of floats up. And that's okay, because as soon as you put the brownie batter in there, it's going to weigh it down. Okay? All right. See, Owen's working on his pan. That's great. Hi, Quinn. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put my batter. First, I'm just going to drop it in a big plop right in the middle. It's going to be super thick, and that's all right. See, it's just a pile. When I first put it in there, I want to scrape my bowl. I want to get all that amazing deliciousness out of there. And then I'm just going to use my spatula or my wooden spoon, and I'm going to try and push it out to all the corners. I'm going to just kind of level it out a little. And then I'll show you the fun toppings part. If you're interested in doing toppings, I'll show you one way you can do that. So there's my brownies. I'm going to scrape off the last little bit of the batter on there. Okay. So one of the things you can do, depending upon the flavor of your brownie, you could sprinkle crunched up peppermint on top, or some of you are doing like s'mores. You could sprinkle a few things on top, because when it bakes up, it'll bake kind of up and around those toppings. Again, here's my peanut butter brownie from yesterday. You can see it has like marbling on the top. That's peanut butter. So I'm going to pause for just a minute before I show you how I'm going to marble my raspberry jam into my brownies. Okay. Any questions right now? I see lots of scraping of bowls, some mixing. Excellent. All right. Mason's putting his in his pan. Ella, did it go in the pan okay? Okay, cool. Charlotte, how's it going? Ainsley, Mariam, and Elsa just want to check in, make sure things are going okay. Awesome, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to show you my marbling technique. If you wanted to add caramel, if you wanted to add raspberry, if you wanted to add peanut butter, if I do peanut butter, I melt it first. I get it nice and squishy so that it's like more of a jam consistency. So here's what I'm going to do with my raspberry jam. I'm going to pour little dollops like this in my pan. And this is always so delicious, but you could also do chocolate frosting, or you could do more chocolate chips, whatever you want to put on the top. But here's the fun thing. This makes it so pretty. I'm going to take my knife, and I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth, and it helps make this marbling. It also makes little hearts there, which is kind of cute. And I'm gonna marble it, and then I'm gonna go the opposite direction like this, so that that raspberry jam just gets like, look how pretty that is. It's gonna be so good. So excited. So go ahead and finish my marbling. And now, this is ready. This is ready for me to put in the oven. And when we bake our brownies, I'm gonna put mine in the oven. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna put mine in the oven, and I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes. Okay.
How long do we put it in for?
For 30 minutes. Now's a good time while everybody else is finishing up. All the really good chefs keep their, not me, but all of them, they always say, keep a clean workspace. So I'm gonna put a few of my things away. My sugar. Flour.
How many servings does this make?
It depends on the size of your pan. My pan, this size brownie, so you look, it's like the size of my palm. It's kind of a big brownie, but it's like a deliciously big brownie. This is, in my pan, this made 9. I cut it 3 by 3.
And so they like this up a little bit.
Yeah, you can
Because
definitely.
it's a little flat.
Yeah, oh, it definitely puffs up. As you're cooking it, it will puff up. Yep. They definitely start a little flat. I'm gonna put my last couple of things away. Okay. I want to talk really quickly about how to check if your brownies are done. Okay. So 7. I love it. Charlotte says 7 brownies for her and 1 for each of your parents, but no brownies for your sisters. Okay, so here I'm going to tell you about how you've probably done this. If you haven't, let's just chat about it. So in 30 minutes, when your timer goes off, you just want to double check that your brownies are done. So you're going to take, I use a toothpick if you have one, or sometimes you might have like a skewer, a wooden skewer, or you can even just use a knife, and you stick it in someplace in the middle of your brownies and you pull it out. And if it comes out and that toothpick or that knife look just like when you put your brownies in the oven, if it is still super gooey, you probably want to give it 5 more minutes. Okay? So 30, I'll put this in the chat, 30 to 35 minutes in the oven at 350 degrees. If you are at home, and would you do me a favor and put your flavor? What flavor brownie did you make? Go ahead and put it in the chat. And I'll read them out loud. What flavor brownie? I made raspberry this time. I made peanut butter yesterday. Charlotte made chocolate. It's like triple chocolate, right? Marshmallow. Sounds amazing. Sprinkles on top. I love that. You can always put sprinkles on things. I know Mason's making peppermint. Ainsley's making chocolate. Ooh, the other thing. Ooh, cinnamon. Mariam, that sounds amazing. What a great combination, chocolate and cinnamon. Last night, ooh, peppermint with marshmallow. That's interesting. This is what I did with my brownie last night. I put a scoop of ice cream on top of it. It was amazing. Delicious. So you can a whipped cream or some people like frosted brownies. If you like frosting, you could make frosting to put on your brownies, or you could just eat them the way they are, right? Delicious. So here's the thing that I want to talk about too. So you've tested your brownie. It's ready. You baked it for 30 or 35 minutes. I wouldn't bake it any longer than that. Make sure you take it out at 35, just because sometimes brownies are supposed to be fudgy. 30 to 35 is plenty of time. Now here's how the parchment works. So when you take it out, I want you to set it someplace safe where it can cool for about 15 minutes. Ooh, Owen did strawberry chocolate. That sounds delicious. So you're going to take out your pan when the time is up, and you're going to keep it out for, you're going to let it cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then, this is the cool thing, you're going to just carefully grab that parchment paper, and you can lift it up, and you can set it down on the counter or on the cutting board and give it a little more time to cool, and then you can just cut them right then and there. And because you've taken it out and it's on the parchment, you don't have, you know, sometimes it's hard to cut in a bowl or in a pan and you can't get to the corner. It doesn't do that when you use the parchment, because you can really carefully cut all the way down and you don't have to worry about the sides of the pan. So you definitely let it cool, pull it carefully out, pull the whole parchment and set that out on the counter, and then it'll cut right up. Any questions about our brownies today? Yeah, go ahead.
So you said that if you put it in for 35 minutes, it'll be more gooey. So for brownies, is it the longer you bake, the more gooey it gets, or?
Sorry, I probably said that the backwards. Brownies are most brownies are made to be gooey. So 30 is fine. The longer you leave it in, the drier it will get, which is why I don't want you to leave it in for longer than 35 minutes.
So if you leave it in for 30, it'll be more gooey?
For sure.
Okay.
Yep. Let me see. I've got a couple experts. You can eat raw batter. You will get salmonella. Yes. You want to be careful anytime you're eating anything with raw eggs in it that you don't get salmonella. And occasionally, though, I'm sure we've all licked our fingers and eaten a little bit of the brownie batter. Definitely talk to your families about what their expectations are for your consumption of uncooked baked goods. In my experience, a little, licking your finger seems fine, but I want you to check with your families because everybody's family is a little different. The brand, Ella, of the chocolate chips, it was just Nestle's, but it was the milk chocolate chips. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, the experts probably do it too, Elsa, as far as eating a little bit, right? So good. I can't resist when I'm making cookies, eating a little bit of the cookie dough before I bake it because it's pretty delicious. We have one more baking club this summer. It's going to be on August 11th. We will do we'll do baking kits again. I probably will have more. All 16 of our baking kits got picked up today, so we'll probably have more available. We were originally going to do cake pops, which are super cool and fun, but I think what we're going to have to do, because you have to bake the cake and then there's lots of things that happen after that. But I think what we're going to do is cookies, and I have a cookie recipe that can either make chocolate chip cookies. It's like the brownies where you can put anything you want in it and it tastes amazing. So I think we'll do cookies next time we're together. Charlotte, don't worry about camping because just like today, we'll record it and you could watch it afterwards if you wanted to. Yeah, cookies are pretty amazing. So we'll probably do cookies on the 11th, and then we'll save cake pops for maybe one of our bakes when we go back to school, I think. So definitely make sure you check in with me in September when we can start thinking about what a baking club would look like at Eagle Staff. I'm super excited. it'll be fun. We can talk about what it looks like and when we bake. And you all, I would love for you all to, someday you can lead the baking instead of me. That would be really cool.
So, like, have there been previous ones of this? Or is this the
Yeah. Mason, I'm gonna grab a link for you and I'll put it in the chat because Eagle Staff Library has a YouTube channel and I post all of our videos there. Let me just log in and grab you that link. The last time we were together, we made streusel banana bread muffins. So there were banana bread muffins. They're so good. They have this cinnamon on top with this crunchy goodness. So let me grab that for you. And I can put that link in if you're interested. And bananas in my house, we always end up with something, right? A banana or two that always turn brown. We never get through all the bananas at my house. So having something to do with bananas is really great. So if you'd like to know more, that recipe is in the chat. Do you have to stay? You don't, but here is what I would love, love, love for you to do. Would you please, when you're done, take a picture of your brownies and send it to me at my email, my Seattle Schools email. I would love to post your finished products on the library's Instagram page. So you don't have to stay because it would be a long time of sitting here and trying to chit chat with each other for the next 20 minutes while we eat our brownie batter and wait for our brownies to cook. But definitely make sure you've set a timer so you don't forget. And whenever you're ready, you can go. But don't forget to send me a picture of your brownies because I would love to see your finished product. Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye, Miss One Coop.
Thanks for coming. It was really fun making today.
Yeah, bye.
Bye,
All right,
thanks.
thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Awesome. Bye, Ella.
Bye.
Bye, Elsa. Thank you. Bye, Mariam. Bye, Ainsley. Baker's gonna bake.